What is up, YouTube? Back in Madden 23, today we're going to be rebuilding the Carolina Panthers because Zach Attack 22 commented in a previous video to rebuild Carolina, so here we are. If you like Madden rebuilds, career simulations, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. Hit the like button, comment something down below. If you want me to do a video, there's a high chance that I'll go ahead and do it and feature you up here in a video just like this. We got Baker Mayfield at quarterback coming over in a trade from the Cleveland Browns. He's a 77 overall star dev, 27 years old and going into his 5th season. Let's see what his contract looking like. So this is gonna be the last year on his deal, so we're gonna have to decide if we want to keep rolling with him or try to move on to somebody else. I'm not gonna use Sam Darnold most likely in this video or this rebuild. Matt Corral, he was drafted in the 3rd round from Ole Miss. Could he potentially take over as a starter? He could be a cheap option. You know, the Carolina Panthers offense is pretty overpowered in Madden 23, especially since we got Christian McCaffrey. You know, obviously the offense is going to be running through him, so as long as he stays healthy, he's going to be the main focal point, which in real life he hasn't been healthy that much the last couple years. In 2021 he only played in 7 games, in 2023 games, so the team pretty much goes as he goes. So if he gets hurt, then the team is pretty much done for. But we saw whenever we did the Pittsburgh Steelers rebuild. If you haven't seen that, you should go ahead and watch that. We switched to the Carolina Panthers offense because they had Najee Harris at running back, and he was the best player on offense. So we ran their playbook, and we won 2 Super Bowls with them, with Kenny Pickett at quarterback, and he never really developed into an elite quarterback. So we can probably use that same recipe in this rebuild. Have maybe Matt Corral could be the guy, you know, cheaper quarterback, and be able to spend a lot more money on offense and defense. They drafted this left tackle in the 1st round. He's a 76 overall hidden dev coming out of North Carolina State, 21 years old. He's going to be a staple on the offensive line for this entire rebuild. Right guard and right tackle is looking pretty decent. Left guard is the weakest spot. Trimble is probably going to be the focal point for the tight end position for the whole rebuild. He's 72 overall star dev. He's still only 22 years old, going into his 2nd season, so he has a lot of room to develop. And then we got DJ Moore, wide receiver 1, 88 overall star dev. We got Robbie Anderson, wide receiver 2, 83 overall star dev. Well, DJ Moore does not have star dev. He actually has superstar dev, my bad. And then we got Higgins at wide receiver 3. Defensively, we're going to have to focus on trying to upgrade middle linebacker and left outside linebacker for sure. Probably even free safety. But overall, this entire team in general only has, I think, like 3 or 4 guys that are over the age of 30. So the team is pretty young and has a lot of potential going forward. We got Brian Burns, superstar, 86 overall defensive end. JC Horn coming into his 2nd season, 75 overall star dev. Didn't play very much last year. We got Derek Brown at defensive tackle, 81 overall star dev. He's only 24 years old, 6'5", 320 pounds, big old dude out there. And then we got Jackson at cornerback 1, 81 overall star dev. Henderson at cornerback 3, 75 overall star dev. So overall, the defense is looking pretty decent. Long-term wise, I think they'll probably develop pretty well. We just need to focus on some linebackers and a safety. Here at the midseason point, we're not off to a very good start. We're 2-5. Last in the division, the Falcons are 6-1, the Buccaneers are 6-1, and the Saints are 5-2. Want to check out players ready to negotiate. Says that we only have $3.4 million in cap space, so we're definitely gonna have to go check out the salaries and see where we can free up some money. Looking at the team salaries, Sam Darnold's gonna make $18.9 million this year. He's on the last year of his deal, and I'm definitely about to cut him right now because we do not need him on the team. And I'm gonna see if that helps free up some money for next year. Well, actually, I don't think it's gonna free up any money for next year now that I think about it, but I'm still just gonna go ahead and cut him. Yeah, it didn't free up any space for next year. We still have $3.4 million in cap space because his contract was for this year, so it makes sense that it doesn't affect next season. So I'm not going to be able to re-sign anybody until the end of the year and see what the cap room was looking like. Decided to check out the injury report, and wouldn't you know it, Christian McCaffrey's injured for 7 weeks with a partial ACL tear. We do have a breakout opportunity for the running back position, so yeah, it is for Chuba Hubbard, the backup running back. You should be able to get some opportunities since Christian McCaffrey's hurt. Simulated to the next week, and we beat the Falcons 45-21, and we're gonna see if we got this breakout player for the running back. He gave a good effort out there, but after today's game, I'm not sure Chuba Hubbard has what it takes to carry an offense, so he didn't get it. End of the regular season, we finished 7-10, last in the division. Everyone else finished 10-7 with a three-way tie in the division, so I'm not sure how they're picking the winners on that. It has to be tiebreakers by whoever beat each other, but one of the teams probably isn't making it to the playoffs. Guess we can check out the playoff bracket real quick. So the Saints and the Falcons made it. Who else was in there? Oh, the Buccaneers too, so they all three did make it, my bad. Well, that's crazy. Checking out the season stats, we had the 25th ranked offense, and defensively we were ranked 14th, so we have a lot of work to do on offense. Baker Mayfield had a not so great season, 3,900 yards passing with 27 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. That's really high. 61% completion with the 85 rating. Christian McCaffrey ended up leading the team in rushing yards with 747 at 5 yards per carry with 10 touchdowns. I mean, he does good whenever he's in there, but you see here he only played in 8 games, so that means that he missed 9 games. That's over half the season. Chuba Hubbard did all right as a backup, 186 carries for 722 yards, 3.9 per carry with 5 touchdowns. And Dante Foreman had 6 rushing touchdowns. Receiving wise, DJ Moore had 927 yards with 5 touchdowns. Robbie Anderson had 845 yards with 9 touchdowns. And tight end Trimble had 679 yards with 4 touchdowns. Higgins had 611 yards with 6 touchdowns, and then even McCaffrey and Hubbard both got in a lot of catches because the Carolina Panthers offense features the running back heavily in the passing game and the running game. Shaq Thompson led the team in tackles with 90. Damian Wilson came in second with 83. TFL's Derek Brown led the team with 17. Brian Burns had 15, and Gross Matos had 11. Sacks, Brian Burns led the team with 8.5. Luvu had 5. Derek Brown had 3. CJ Henderson led the team in interceptions, along with Woods and Dawson with 2, and a few other guys have 1. Checking out the yearly awards, I highly doubt that we're gonna have anything in here, but we'll still check and see. I know we're not gonna have any coach of the year because we didn't even make the playoffs. Let's see, offensive player of the year, nothing in there. Defensive player of the year, nothing in there. Offensive rookie of the year, nothing. Defensive rookie of the year, nothing. Best quarterback, definitely not gonna have anybody in there. Best running back, Christian McCaffrey came in 10th even though he played half the season. All right, that's realistic. Best wide receiver, nothing. Best offensive lineman, nothing there. Best defensive lineman, nothing. Best linebacker, nada. Best defensive back, nothing. 2022 season recap. The Bills beat the Commanders in the Super Bowl 24-17 to win their first ever Super Bowl. Tre'Davious White was Super Bowl MVP. We saw Dak Prescott won MVP of the regular season. Doug Peterson with the Jaguars won Coach of the Year. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams. Von Miller won Defensive Player of the Year with the Bills. Drake London won Offensive Rookie of the Year with the Falcons, and Devin Lloyd won Defensive Rookie of the Year with the Jaguars. Checking out players eligible to re-sign before we go into free agency. We do have $24 million in cap space now. Ioannidis is an intriguing defensive tackle, but I think I'm gonna wait and go to free agency. Baker Mayfield, I'm definitely not interested in re-signing him because he had a terrible season. I think at this point, if we had to, we can just go to Matt Corral, a starting quarterback, if we can't find another better option. See the center, he wants 2 years, $10 million. I think I'll go ahead and offer that to him. No, he doesn't want to come back. He wants to go to free agency. All right, Rashard Higgins, not interested in him. Not interested in this running back. They all have normal div, and they're all like in their 30s. This guy right here, 25 years old. Nah, I'm just not gonna re-sign him. Pretty much that's gonna be it. We got Michael Jordan over here, the greatest basketball player of all time, playing left guard. Here's what the team looks like before going into free agency. This first round draft pick, Ikwanu, left tackle, is actually a superstar. That's freaking awesome. He's a 79 overall. So we definitely need to try to get a center and a guard. And Matt Corral's a 68 normal div. We could maybe use a third receiver, I guess, if we needed to, or if we could find one. Defensively, all these guys are taking a morale hit for some reason. Like Damian Wilson is down -3. So he's actually 71, but he's playing they have him showing him as a 68. But we do need a new middle linebacker, a new left outside linebacker, another defensive tackle, and we could actually use a free safety too. Also, I didn't even notice that Brian Burns is up to Superstar X Factor, so that's freaking awesome. Alright, so I went through free agency. I signed everybody I possibly could. If you look in the top right hand corner, we got 1.43 million left, so basically no money. I was able to get strong safety CJ Gardner-Johnson. He's 25 years old, 84 overall, star dev, scheme fit. I had to bring Matt Ioannidis back. I got David Edwards at left guard and Chris Barnes at middle linebacker. Pretty much a bunch of cheap dudes, except for this guy, but he really wanted to come here and wanted to upgrade the free safety spot, so I'm gonna move him to free safety. Here in the draft in the first round, we have pick number 11 this year, but there's an outside linebacker that's still available at pick number 3 that I want to try to trade for. There was a linebacker at another outside linebacker that looked even better that I wanted to get. I didn't think that he was going to go in the first or the top 1 or 2, but he ended up getting pick number 1, even though the team needed a quarterback. It was the Seahawks. I don't know why they didn't draft a quarterback, but I'm going to take this other guy in pick number 3. I'm going to trade for our first round pick next year, a second round pick, and a fourth round pick this year. So the guy I'm going to draft is left outside linebacker Brenton Slate. He's a power rusher. We got him 95% scouted. I wish we had him 100% scouted. But he has good acceleration, he has elite strength, he has solid and a bunch of stuff, but we really need a good power rushing outside linebacker. He has A hit power, A play rec, A power moves, A pursuit, B tackle. His zone coverage is F, but that doesn't matter because he's going to be going after the quarterback, so drafting him. And he only has normal dev, really. Still in the first round, we have pick number 11 also this year because we traded our first round pick from next year to get that other guy. We do need another offensive lineman, so I think I'm going to go ahead and draft Julius Mccain. He's only 75% scouted. This outside linebacker, he's 100% scouted, and his true talent is a second to third round. So, man, should I take this guy? Or should I take, let's look at Tommy Hudson real quick and see. He has elite acceleration, elite change of direction, A awareness, A injury, B run block, A run block finesse, and D run block power. And then the other guy, Julius Mccain, he has elite acceleration and elite speed, A impact block, A lead block, B run block, A run block finesse. I'm just gonna draft him. He's got hidden dev. Nice. Looking at the draft recap, the first pick that we had, Brenton Slate, he's a 75 overall outside linebacker with normal dev, which is not good, but you know, he's still 23 years old, which is also not ideal, but he still has 5 years to develop, so hopefully he can get a better dev trait. The other first round pick we drafted, this left tackle, he's only a 72 overall with hidden dev, but he'll be a starter right away because we do need another offensive lineman. He's only 21 years old. So that's good. The computer drafted the rest of these guys. We only had a 6th and 7th round pick afterwards, so I just let the computer draft them. I'm gonna go look at the entire draft class and see who the highest overall rated player was. This guy is the one that I wanted to draft. This is Wakefield. I was gonna try to trade for the number 1 pick, but Seahawks didn't have a quarterback, so I figured they would try to draft a quarterback in the first round, but took a chance and they drafted him. Is there a quarterback up here? Yeah, quarterback got drafted by the Giants, number 2 pick. He's only a 74 overall. That's who I thought that they were gonna take. And then I was gonna trade for the Giants pick. This is what the team is looking like for the start of the second season. We're going with Matt Corral at quarterback. Probably should have just went ahead and started him last year. I didn't think that Baker Mayfield was gonna have such a terrible season. Christian McCaffrey's at 99 overall X Factor. Hopefully he can stay healthy for longer than 8 games this season. DJ Moore's a 90 overall star dev, and Robbie Anderson's 81 overall star dev. Tight end Trimble's up to a 75. The offensive line is looking pretty decent. The offensive lineman I drafted in the first round, he was a left tackle, but I moved him to center because we needed a center. Defensively, we got Slate starting at outside linebacker, the guy we drafted in the first round that only had normal dev. We brought in Gardner-Johnson in free agency to be the starting free safety. I'll put Xavier Woods on the trade block to try to see if we can get a draft pick or something for him. We brought in Chris Barnes at middle linebacker. Brian Burns, 89 overall X Factor. I think the defense is looking decent overall. They still have some room to grow and develop. At the midseason point, we are off to a pretty great start, 5-2, leading the division. Actually pretty surprised being that we got Matt Corral at quarterback, but I guess he must be doing better than Baker Mayfield. Buccaneers are 4-3, the Saints are 4-3, and the Falcons are 0-7. I'm gonna look at players ready to negotiate, see if we got $89 million in cap space next season. Brian Burns' contract is up, definitely want to bring him back. He wants 3 years, $58 million, so offer that to him. He's coming back. Shaq Thompson is 29 years old, 85 overall star dev. He's a scheme fit too. I do want to bring him back, but I think I'm going to wait till the end of the year. Since he's 29, he might regress a little bit, so we might be able to get him a little bit cheaper. Jeremy Chin, he's 25, star dev, 85 overall. Definitely going to bring him back right now before he starts developing more and we have to pay more. He wants more years. All right. Derek Brown, definitely want to bring him back too. He's not really that interested, but I'm gonna offer him this deal. All right, I'll offer him more later at the end of the year. Robbie Anderson, I'm gonna let him walk. He's 30 years old. He's only gonna start regressing. This offense, I mean, it's good to have good receivers, obviously, but the offense focuses more on the running back, so we don't necessarily need to spend a bunch of money on a 30-year-old wide receiver. Ioannidis, I'm gonna wait till the end of the year on him. End of the regular season, we went 11-6. We won the division. The Buccaneers went 9-8. The Saints went 8-9, and the Falcons went 4-13. Let's check out the season stats. We had the 11th ranked offense. Looks like Corral did pretty good overall. And defense, we don't know. It's a blank because the game is glitching out. All right. Matt Corral threw for 4,500 yards, 34 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That's what I like to see. Way better than Baker Mayfield. He threw like 22 interceptions last year. 65% completion with the 104.8 rating. Even the backup quarterback came in and threw a touchdown. Rushing wise, it looks like, yeah, Christian McCaffrey played in every game. Look at that. That'll probably never happen again. Almost 300 carries for 1,498 yards, 5 per carry with 19 touchdowns. Awesome. Chuba Hubbard had 9 touchdowns as a backup running back. DJ Moore had 1,000 yards with 10 touchdowns receiving. Robbie Anderson had 906 yards with 9 touchdowns. Running back Christian McCaffrey had 70 catches for 869 yards and 5 touchdowns. Terrence Marshall had 800 yards with 7 touchdowns. Tight end Tommy Tremble had 466 yards with 1 touchdown. Defensively, Chris Barnes led the team in tackles with 111. Brian Burns had the most TFLs with 16. Ioannidis had 12. Sacks, Brian Burns led the team with 9.5. Derek Brown had 6.5 from the defensive tackle spot. Luvu had 6.5. Why did Luvu have 6.5? Where the heck is the linebacker that we drafted? Slate. He only had half a sack. The heck? Alright. CJ Gardner-Johnson, we brought over in free agency, led the team in interceptions with 4. Xavier Woods had 3. Dante Jackson had 3. Shaq Thompson had 2. JC Horn had 2. A few other guys had 1. Going to be playing against the 10-7 Los Angeles Rams in the wild card spot. We got the Packers against the Buccaneers and the Seahawks against the 49ers, with the Cowboys getting a bye week first round. First round of the playoffs, playing in Carolina, we jump up to a 7-0 lead. Second quarter is tied 7-7. We're up 14-7. We're tied at 14-14. We're up 17-14. Third quarter, we're still up 17-14. We're up 20-14 in the third. We're down 21-20. We're up 26-21 in the fourth. Down by 1 in the fourth. 34-26. We're losing 37-26 in the fourth, and we lost the game. Checking out the yearly awards for MVP. We don't have anybody on there. Coach of the year came in third on that. Offensive player of the year, Christian McCaffrey, came in second to Cooper Kupp. Defensive player of the year, nothing. Offensive rookie of the year, that Giants quarterback ended up winning that. Defensive rookie of the year, nothing on there. Best quarterback, Matt Corral, came in 7th. Best running back, Christian McCaffrey, won that. That's good. Best wide receiver, nothing on there. Best offensive lineman, nothing. Best defensive lineman, nothing. Best linebacker, nothing. Best defensive back, CJ Gardner-Johnson came in 5th, and Xavier Woods came in 10th. 2023 season recap. The Chiefs beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl 35-32. Patrick Mahomes won Super Bowl MVP and regular season MVP. Mike McCarthy won Coach of the Year with the Cowboys. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams. Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year with the Browns. Looking at players ready to re-sign before we go into free agency, I'm definitely going to try to bring Shaq Thompson back on a 2-year deal. He's coming back. Jeremy Chin, I want to try to bring him back. He looks like he's a little bit more interested. I think we offered him this deal last time, but I'm going to try again. He's coming back. I don't know what the difference is, but okay. Derek Brown, he did want more money, so let's offer him the 4-year deal and see what he says. He wants to go to a new team? Alright, well, I don't know about that. He might get franchise tag. Robbie Anderson, I'm going to let him walk. Ioannidis, I'm going to wait till free agency. CJ Anderson, I do want to bring him back. See if he'll sign this 2-year deal. He wants to go to free agency. We can always try to get him in free agency. This defensive end, Gross Matos, I think I'm going to let him walk. I can bring him back in free agency if I need to. Alright, so let me figure out Derek Brown real quick. How much is it going to cost to franchise tag him? $21 million. And he wanted 3 years for $36 million. So I want to bring him back though. I think I'm just going to let him go to free agency and see if I can get him there. This is what the team is looking like before we go into free agency. Pretty much all we need is maybe a second wide receiver on the offense. Everyone else is looking okay. Defensively, we need defensive tackles and a right end. So we basically need to get a whole new defensive line besides Brian Burns. And we could use a true number 1 corner, or at least a 3rd corner. Alright, in free agency, I was able to bring Derek Brown back at defensive tackle. And we got kicker Tyler Bass. Got this defensive end. We got Ioannidis coming back. We got Donovan's Peoples Jones coming in at wide receiver 2. He's 25 years old, 77 overall with a normal dev. He's going to be replacing Robbie Anderson at wide receiver. And I was able to bring CJ Henderson back. Here in the second round of the draft, we got pick 22. We didn't have a first round pick. We traded it last year to trade it for the number 3 pick. There's a couple wide receivers right here that are scheme fits. They're still set in here, so that means that they're probably not very good. So what I'm thinking is there's a linebacker that's way down here that looks really intriguing. Where did I see him at? Oh, this pass coverage linebacker right here. He's 95% scouted and he has A in a lot of things, as you can see. He has great acceleration, elite agility, great change of direction, good jumping, good speed. Skills wise, we know for sure he has A awareness, he has A man coverage, B play rec, A pursuit, A tackle, A zone. Drafting him right now. He got hidden dev, 82 speed. Here in the 3rd round, I'm looking at this wide receiver, Josh Alonzo. We got him 50% scouted. He's a scheme fit. He's 6'2", 233 pounds, so he's like a freaking tight end. Is that what it said? Yeah, 233 pounds. He has decent acceleration, decent agility, great change of direction, great jumping, great speed, great strength. So he's a pretty good athlete for the size that he is. We know for sure he's got A, catching traffic, B, catching, and B, release. So I'm going to take a chance. He's got hidden dead with 93 speed, with 92 change of direction. It's freaking amazing. Looking at the draft recap, the linebacker we drafted in the 2nd round is 73 overall. He did have hidden dev, 80 tackle, 86 pursuit. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with them, but I'll figure something out with them. And this wide receiver we drafted in the 3rd round is also a 73 overall, so that's a pretty good pick with a hidden dev. He's playing up to 74. 93 speed with 86 catch, 88 catching traffic. His route running is not that great, but his jumping is 92. Here's what the starting lineup looks like for season 3. Matt Corral is still only a 69 overall with normal dev. I mean, he put up a pretty good season last year, so I'm gonna roll with him one more time, and if he doesn't develop, we might have to do something else at quarterback. McCaffrey's still a 99 overall with X Factor. DJ Moore's up to 92 with star dev. The wide receiver we drafted is a 76 overall with hidden dev because he's playing up. He has a +3 morale. But I'm going to make him wide receiver 2 and move Peoples Jones down to wide receiver 3. Offensive line is looking pretty good. Defensively, Gardner Johnson's up to superstar. Burns still has X Factor. Chin is up to 86 overall. And that linebacker we drafted, I think I'm gonna move him to middle linebacker, and I'm gonna start him at middle linebacker, and I might try to trade Barnes and just try to let Gore develop. Slate is a guy we drafted last year. He hasn't really, I mean, he's up to a 78, so I guess he's developing a little bit, but he still has normal dev. So I was looking around at trades, and I ended up trading the middle linebacker Chris Barnes, free safety Xavier Woods, and a 3rd round pick for the Bengals' 1st round pick, which is projected to be the 30th pick because they're expected to be really good. So we're not going to be using Barnes or Woods, and a 3rd round pick I'm okay with getting rid of to get a 1st round pick next year, or this season actually. At the midseason point, we're actually leading the division with the 4-3 record. The Falcons are 4-3, the Saints are 3-3, and the Buccaneers are 1-6. I want to look at players that are willing to re-sign right now. We got $95 million in cap space. Dante Jackson, he's not interested in coming back. Probably wait till the end of the year and try to re-sign him. Austin Corbett, same thing. He's 28 years old, so he might regress a little bit. Let's see what else we got. J.C. Horn, he wants 5 years, 22.2 mil. He's not interested in re-signing, but I'm gonna offer him this deal and see what he says. I need to do more to convince me. Blatty blatty. All right, David Edwards, 2 years, 10 mil. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that offer to him. See if he'll take it. No, he wants more. All right, Chuba Hubbard, I'm just gonna wait on him. Ioannidis, I'm gonna wait on. I do want to bring Trimble back. It looks like he's pretty interested to come back. He's coming back. That linebacker that I drafted, he does have superstar dev. Freaking crazy, I wasn't expecting that. But we'll take it. Into the regular season, we finished 10-7. We won the division. The Falcons also went 10-7. Saints went 7-10. The Buccaneers went 6-11. Stats wise, hopefully Matt Corral had a big year. We're 3rd in offense, so that's pretty good output. He had 43 touchdowns, nice. Defensively 26, so defense needs some help. Matt Corral threw for 4,800 yards, 43 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 66% completion with a 108.5 rating. Christian McCaffrey had 320 carries for 1,500 yards, 4.7 per carry with 13 touchdowns. Chuba Hubbard had 400 yards, 3.9 per carry with 11 touchdowns. I'm surprised that McCaffrey played all 17 games again 2 years in a row. DJ Moore had 1,152 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns. Dang, Christian McCaffrey almost had 1,000 yards receiving. He had 931 yards and 6 touchdowns. Terrace Marshall had 859 yards, 9 touchdowns. Peoples-Jones had 673 yards with 8 touchdowns. Tight end Trimble had 650 yards but no touchdowns. The rookie receiver Alonzo had 319 yards with 7 touchdowns. Defensively, Shaq Thompson led the team in tackles with 134. Rookie linebacker Gore that we drafted had 100 tackles. Brian Burns led the team in TFLs with 16, and Derek Brown had 13. Brian Burns led the team in sacks with 10.5. Slate had 8.5, so he actually got some playing time instead of Luvu getting all the sacks over there. Ioannidis had 5.5 sacks. Derek Brown had 5 sacks. Shaq Thompson had 3 interceptions. Gore had 3, the rookie linebackers. He had 100 tackles, 3 TFLs, 2 sacks, and 3 interceptions. That's pretty good rookie season there. Jeremy Chin had 3 interceptions. J.C. Horn had 3. That's good to see. Slate even had 2 interceptions with 8.5 sacks. Henderson had an interception. Gardner Johnson had 1. Jackson had 1. And McKenzie had 1. We'll be playing against the 10-7 Rams in the wild card round of the playoffs. We played against them last year, and they beat us. See, we got the Falcons and the Vikings. We got the Packers and the 49ers, and the Cowboys got a bye week. Wild card round of the playoffs, playing in Carolina. We're up 7-0 in the first. We're up 14-0 in the second. Good start. We're up 14-3. 21-3 in the second. 21-10, 28-10 in the third quarter, 28-13. Come on, hold them off. 28-16 in the fourth. Don't let them come back. 31-16, 31-23. We won the game. Nice. Thought they were gonna come back at the end again like last year. Going to the next round of the playoffs. Divisional round of the playoffs, we'll be going against the 10-7 Atlanta Falcons. They beat the Vikings 23-17. And on the other side, we got the Packers against the Cowboys. Playing in Carolina again for the divisional round. We're down 3-0. It looks like it's raining out there. Looks like it's nasty. Still 3-0. We take the lead 7-3 in the second. We're up 14-3. At halftime, we're up 14-6 in the third. It's tied 14-14. We're up 21-14 in the fourth. 21-17. We're still winning in the fourth. Come on, hold them off. We're up 24-21. Come on. We lost the game at the very end. Well, at least we got one playoff win though. Checking out the yearly awards for MVP. Matt Corral came in 10th for MVP. I like to see that. Coach of the Year came in 6th on that. Offensive Player of the Year, McCaffrey came in 2nd to Cooper Kupp. Defensive Player of the Year, nothing. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alonzo came in 3rd. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jared Gore won that. Nice. It's that linebacker that we drafted. Best quarterback, Matt Corral came in 4th. Best running back, Christian McCaffrey won that. Best wide receiver, DJ Moore came in 6th. Best offensive lineman, Corbett came in 2nd. Best defensive lineman, Burns came in 10th. Best linebacker, nothing on there. Best defensive back, Chen came in 10th. 2024 season recap. The Chiefs beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl 42-17. Patrick Mahomes won MVP of the Super Bowl again. Derek Carr won MVP of the regular season. Mike McCarthy won Coach of the Year with the Cowboys. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams. Shaq Barrett won Defensive Player of the Year with the Buccaneers. Our boy Jared Gore won Defensive Rookie of the Year at middle linebacker. Looking at players available to re-sign before free agency, I'm going to try to bring back Dante Jackson. Doesn't look like he's too interested. I don't want to like overpay him a lot, at least not multiple years, so I'm going to throw him a little bit of extra money for a 1-year deal. He was going to go to free agency. All right. Austin Corbett, he wants 2 years, $17 million. I think I'm going to wait off on that. Might be able to find someone else. I do want to try to bring JC Horn back, but let's see. We offered him a 5-year deal last time and he turned it down. I don't think so, did we? He's coming back on that. All right. Chuba Hubbard, nah, I'm not interested in him. Or Ioannidis. Not interested in this wide receiver coming back, or Ian Thomas. Pretty much going to be it unless any of these guys have star dev or better. This is what the team was looking like before free agency. Matt Corral's up to a 73. I guess he's technically still only a 69, but he has a morale boost up to 73. So he hasn't really progressed much. McCaffrey's still a 99 overall. We do need probably 2 guards, a left guard and a right guard. Defensively, I think the linebackers are still pretty good right now. We definitely need another defensive tackle. Look, Gardner Johnson's up to X Factor. Nice. We definitely need to get another corner, like a legit shutdown corner. So we'll see how free agency goes. Free agency, I was able to bring in 86 overall star dev, 28-year-old Carlton Davis at cornerback. Had to bring Matt Ioannidis back at defensive tackle. I tried to get some other guys, but they were wanting way too much money and they didn't want to sign. Had to bring in this 33-year-old left guard Matt Filer, or Feeler, however you say it. Same thing. There wasn't very many like really good players in free agency, so all the players that are like, I guess, average or slightly above average were getting big offers like from everybody. And then I got Cody Ford at right guard. I'm trading up in the draft to get the number 2 pick from the Jaguars. There's a quarterback there that I want to go ahead and draft because we need to try to do something with the offense. I mean, Matt Corral's been doing okay, but he's actually been putting up pretty good numbers, but I don't know why Madden quarterbacks just don't seem to get better unless they have like MVP season or they win Rookie of the Year. When I'm trading a 1st round pick this year, a 2nd round pick next year, and a 2nd round pick this year. And we still have another 1st round pick that we got from the Bengals. I think it's like pick number 27. I didn't trade for the number 1 pick because the Giants have it and they just drafted a quarterback last year, so I'm hoping that they don't draft a quarterback right now. I'm gonna skip ahead and see. No, they drafted outside linebacker. All right, we're about to come in here and draft this quarterback. There's actually 2 quarterbacks on here that I was checking out, but Timmy Walker is the one that I'm liking the most. There's 3, but I was looking at the scrambling quarterback and this improviser right here. So I'm gonna take the improviser. We know that he has great acceleration, great agility, elite change of direction, good jumping, solid speed, elite strength, and great throw power. He has A awareness, B, stamina, B, deep accuracy, B, medium accuracy, A, throw on the run. Welcome to the team. Hidden Dev, 22 years old from Texas State. He has 82 speed and 92 throw power. We're still in the first round with pick number 27 that we got from the Bengals, and we traded away Xavier Woods and Chris Barnes, I think was his name, the other linebacker. So it seems like offensive linemen are pretty difficult to come across in free agency. Everyone wants to pay him a crap ton of money. So I'm gonna draft this guy, this left tackle. His name is Mark Short, but he's definitely not short. He's 6'8", 334 pounds. He has decent acceleration, solid agility, great change of direction, decent jumping, solid speed, and great strength. We know for sure he's got A awareness, A lead block, B pass block, A pass block power, B run block power, and he has the potential to have A in some other categories. So I'm going to take a chance. He has Hidden Dev. Welcome to the team. Checking out the draft recap, the quarterback we drafted, he's only a 74 overall. It's kind of low, but we still need a quarterback, so we'll take it. He has 92 throw power. His morale is down too for some reason, but his accuracy is 77 for deep, 76 for medium, 86 short. He has 74 awareness, which is actually a 76. The lineman that we drafted in the first round, he's only a 72 overall, but I'm probably going to make him a starter right off the top. He has Hidden Dev. He has +2 morale boost for some reason, or it says temporary +2. So he's playing up to a 74. He has 94 strength, 78 run block power, 83 lead block, 79 run block power, or pass block power, my bad. Seems like he's going to be a pretty good lineman. He doesn't look like he's as big as he actually is. He's supposed to be 6'8", 334, but I guess there's not someone standing beside him to actually see what he looks like, so... This is what the team is looking like for the start of the fourth season. We got Walker coming in at quarterback, 74 overall with his Hidden Dev. McCaffrey still a 99 overall X Factor because he keeps winning, I think, like Offensive Player of the Year, or no, I think it's actually Best Running Back of the Year. DJ Moore is a 93 overall with Star Dev. Alonzo is a receiver that we drafted, is a 78 overall with Star Dev. Peoples-Jones is 81 overall with normal Dev. Trimble, the tight end, is up to 81. Brought in this left guard we drafted. I moved him to left guard, and I ended up trading the guy that we signed. He was like 33-year-old guy. I forgot what his name was, but I got a 7th round pick from him, so basically nothing. Defensively, Gore still has a superstar. He's 80 overall. Shaq Thompson's holding his overall pretty good, 84 with a Star Dev. Gardner Johnson still has X Factor with 88 overall. Burns has X Factor. He's up to 94 overall. Derek Brown's up to 89 overall with Star Dev. And we brought in this cornerback, Davis. He's 87 overall with Star Dev. Chen is up to 88 overall at safety. So defense is looking pretty solid. Offense is looking pretty solid. Hopefully the quarterback can develop, have a good season, win MVP, or not MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year. It would be great if he did win MVP though. The mid-season point, not off to a very good start. We're currently 3-4, last in the division. The Falcons are 6-0. The Saints are 6-1. Buccaneers are 4-3. Check out players ready to negotiate. Christian McCaffrey, definitely want to try to bring him back. He's 29 years old, but he's still a 99 overall. He wants 5 years, 60 mil. That's not too bad, I guess. Doesn't seem like he's interested in coming back, but let's offer him this deal and see what he says. Need to convince me? Okay. All right, buddy. DJ Moore, 92 overall. Definitely want to bring him back. I'm going to offer him this 5-year deal because he doesn't seem very interested. He wants a bigger offer. These guys. Taylor Morton. Wait till the end of the year and probably re-sign him. He's 31, so it'll probably go down a little bit. Same with Shaq Thompson. End of the regular season, we had a pretty bad year. We went 8-9 and finished last in the division. Everyone else in the division was freaking great. The Falcons went 14-3. Saints went 11-6. The Buccaneers went 10-7. Let's go check out the stats and see what happened. We had the 7th ranked offense, so we didn't really have a drop off. Damn, Timmy Walker led the league in passing touchdowns of 48. Defense was 19th. So Timmy Walker, the rookie quarterback, threw for 4,900 yards, 48 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Freaking MVP type year right here for real. 67% completion with the 120 passer rating. I think that's the highest I've ever seen a quarterback get for passer rating in one season. Christian McCaffrey had 1,458 yards, 4.7 per carry with 16 touchdowns. DJ Moore had 1,200 yards with 11 touchdowns. Peoples-Jones had 1,000 yards with 10 touchdowns. Alonzo had 991 yards with 11 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey had 793 yards with 5 touchdowns. Shaq Thompson led the team in tackles with 129. Derek Brown had 18 TFLs. Sacks-wise, Brian Burns led the team with 12. And then Justin Madupike, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, got 5.5 sacks. Ioannidis had 4.5. Derek Brown had 4 interceptions. CJ Henderson led the team with 3, and only a couple other guys had 1. Checking out the yearly awards, and look at that. Guess who won MVP of the whole entire NFL? Rookie quarterback Timmy Walker with the Carolina Panthers. And look, he's up to an 85 overall. Dude's out here balling. Not gonna have any Coach of the Year candidates. Oh, we are? How are we gonna have a Coach of the Year candidate whenever we didn't even make the playoffs? Alright, I guess so. Christian McCaffrey won Offensive Player of the Year. Nice. Timmy Walker came in 6th. Oh, Timmy boy. Defensive Player of the Year. Nothing on there. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Timmy Walker. Of course he's gonna win that if he just won MVP. Why would he not? Defensive Rookie of the Year. Nothing. Best quarterback, Timmy Walker. Once again, dude's out here balling for real. Christian McCaffrey won Best Running Back. Best Wide Receiver. DJ Moore came in 7th. Best Offensive Lineman. Nothing. Best Defensive Lineman. Brian Burns came in 6th. Best Linebacker. Nothing on there. Best Defensive Back. CJ Henderson came in 7th with his 3 interceptions. The rookie quarterback Timmy Walker, I decided to come and check him out. He has superstar dev. He's 85 overall with a +4 morale, boosting him up to 89 overall. I'm gonna look at his progression history. So let's see. We have a superstar dev. Development trait increase of superstar. So he had just star dev, and then because he won MVP, he got boosted up to superstar dev. He won all those awards: most valuable player, offensive rookie of the year, quarterback of the year, NFL passer rating leader. Dang, dude's blowing up. Chiefs beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl 41-35 for the 3rd straight year. I think it was the Chiefs and the Cowboys 3 years in a row in the playoffs. And the Chiefs won every time, and Patrick Mahomes won MVP yet again of the Super Bowl. We saw our boy Timmy Walker won MVP of the regular season. Lynn Wagner, whoever that is, won Coach of the Year with the Falcons. Joe Mixon won Offensive Player of the Year with the Bengals. Chris Jones won Defensive Player of the Year with the Chiefs. Looking at players ready to negotiate before free agency, we got $175 million in cap space. It's gonna be the 5th and final year of the rebuild. Definitely need to try to get Christian McCaffrey to come back. Let's offer him this 6-year deal for $90 million. Not interested in signing, huh? Guess we're just gonna have to franchise tag you for $17 million. Sorry, buddy. DJ Moore, you're gonna come back whether you like it or not. Let's offer him a 6-year deal and see what he says. He wants to go to a new team. All right, well, you're lucky that we can't franchise tag you, since we already franchise tagged Christian McCaffrey. Taylor Morton, I do want to bring him back. Let me offer him a 3-year deal just to try to make sure he comes back good. Because if he goes to free agency, there's other teams that are going to be offering him freaking everything in the world. Shaq Thompson, might as well bring him back. Offer him this 1-year deal and see what he says. All right, he's coming back. Tyler Bass, kicker. We definitely need a kicker, so let's try to bring him back. He doesn't want to come back. All right. These guys, I think I'm gonna let them walk. CJ Henderson, I'm gonna see if there's any better players in free agency. Matt Corral, he was good for a couple years. Maybe I can bring him back as a backup. He wants to go to free agency. All right, well, go ahead then. All right, everyone else, see y'all in free agency. All right, in free agency, I was able to get Deebo Samuel. He's 96 overall, superstar, 30 years old. I tried to bring back DJ Moore, but he wasn't interested, even though I threw him a crap ton of money. Bringing back Dante Jackson after he was gone for a year, 84 overall, star dev, 30 years old. Bringing back this defensive end and defensive tackle Greg Gaines. I did try to get a couple of like big defensive tackles as far as overall ratings, but even though I threw, like you see in the top right hand corner, we have $85 million in cap space still. I pretty much had that down to 0 because I had all these huge offers out to these big overall players. But even though I had the highest contract out there, they still decided, like, the guy ended up just signing to the Jaguars, I think. Or is it this defensive tackle? Let me show you real quick. Jordan Davis, yeah. So you see he's not interested at all. He was the highest overall rated defensive tackle in free agency, and I offered him a 6-year deal for a crap ton of money, but he ended up taking the 3-year deal with the Jaguars because apparently he wanted to play there. So before the draft starts, try to trade for Jordan Davis from the Jaguars, the guy I tried to sign, and they want to trade him for a 1st round and a 2nd round pick, so I'm gonna do it, making him come to the team. He should have just taken the money. Also trading for defensive end Simmons from the Titans for the 1st round pick that we have in this draft, which is pick number 12. I let the computer do all the drafting since we didn't have a 1st round pick, and they drafted this defensive tackle PJ Holloway. He's a 72 overall. They drafted him in the 3rd round, and he has hidden dev. This is what the team is looking like for the 5th and final year of the rebuild. Who is this quarterback? Baker, someone that the computer drafted. He has hidden dev. Dang, all right. He's not a very high overall, but good backup, I guess. McCaffrey's still a 99 overall X Factor. We've got Deebo Samuel coming over, and free agency is a 97 overall superstar. Alonzo's 80 overall star. Trimble's up to 82. Moton, or Moton, however you pronounce his name, is at 86. Ekwonu is an 89 superstar left tackle. Defensively, Gore is still 82 superstar. Chin's up to 89. Shaq Thompson's 82. Gardner Johnson's 90 overall X Factor. We brought Jackson back to be cornerback 1. And we got Davis at cornerback 2 with the 85 overall. And JC Horn is 81 overall. We traded for Davis, and we also traded for Simmons. So hopefully this defensive line is going to be nasty and we can win a Super Bowl this last season. At the midseason point, we're leading the division with a 6-1 record. The Buccaneers are 5-2, the Falcons are 3-4, and the Saints are 3-4 going to the end of the regular season. End of the regular season, we won the division with a 12-5 record, and we got a bye week in the playoffs, so we don't have to play in the 1st round. Stats-wise, we have the number 1 ranked offense in the entire NFL. Nice to see. Defensively, 5th ranked. So yeah, this team just had an amazing year. Timmy Walker threw for 5,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, 19 interceptions is a little high, 69% completion with a 106.9 rating. Christian McCaffrey had his best season yet, 1,708 yards rushing with 5.6 per carry with 22 rushing touchdowns. Nice. Alonzo led the team in receiving yards with 1,158, 7 touchdowns. Deebo Samuel had 1,130 with 8 touchdowns. Walford had 1,000 yards with 9 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey had 725 yards receiving with 5 touchdowns, and Trimble had 665 yards with 1 touchdown. Defensively, Gore led the team in tackles with 135, and Thompson had 129. Simmons led the team in TFLs along with Derek Brown with 17. Burns had 13, Thompson had 11, and Davis had 10. Sacks, Brian Burns led the team with 13. Simmons had 12. Nice. Derek Brown had 4, and Davis had 3. Interceptions, Gardner Johnson and Jackson both had 3. Gore had 2 from the middle linebacker spot. Slate had 1. JC Horn had 1. Ben Ortiz had 1, and McKenzie had 1. We're going to be playing against the 10-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the divisional round of the playoffs. They beat the Cowboys 42-28, so we don't have to worry about a Cowboys-Chiefs Super Bowl like it's always been. And we got the Packers against the Cardinals on the other side. Playing in the rain in Carolina in the playoff game. We're up 7-0 to start in the first. It's tied 7-7 in the second. We're up 14-7 in the second. Still 14-7 in the third. It's a low-scoring game. Come on, hold them up. We're up 21-7, 21-14 in the fourth. Come on, hold them off. We're up 24-14. We won the game, going to the next round. Playing against the 12-5 Green Bay Packers in the NFC Conference Championship game. They beat the Cardinals 42-21. If we beat them, we're going to be playing against either the Ravens or the Jaguars in the Super Bowl. NFC Championship game in Carolina. We jump up to a 7-0 lead. It's tied 7-7 in the second quarter. We're up 14-7 still in the second. Let's score again. We're up 17-7, 17-14 in the third. We're still winning. Now we're losing 21-17. We're up 24-21 in the fourth. It's tied 24-24. We're up 27-24. We're losing 31-27. We're up 34-31. It's tied. We're going to overtime. Come on, what happened? We lost the game in overtime. We lost in overtime. Jordan Love's their quarterback. 41 to 34. Is that what it was? Yeah. Looking at the player stats from that game, Timmy Walker had a 116 QB rating, 392 yards, and 4 touchdowns. But Jordan Love balled out. He had a 129 rating with 410 yards and 4 touchdowns. So it was a duel of the quarterbacks. Checking out the yearly awards, Lamar Jackson won MVP. We didn't have nobody on there. Coach of the Year, we came in second on that. Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey won that. That's all we had on there. Defensive Player of the Year, Simmons came in 6th. Oh, and Burns came in 8th. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Hitchens came in 3rd, whoever that is. Defensive Rookie of the Year, nothing on there. Best Quarterback, Walker came in 10th. Best Running Back, Christian McCaffrey won that. Best Wide Receiver, nothing. Best Offensive Lineman, McCain came in 8th. Best Defensive Lineman, Simmons came in 4th. Burns came in 5th. Best Linebacker, nothing. Best Defensive Back, nothing. 2026 season recap. The Packers beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl 35-32. Jordan Love won MVP of the Super Bowl. We saw Lamar Jackson win MVP of the regular season with the Ravens. Doug Peterson won Coach of the Year with the Jaguars. Our boy Christian McCaffrey won Offensive Player of the Year with the Panthers, and Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year with the Browns. Well, that's the end of the 5-year rebuild. Unfortunately, we weren't able to win the Super Bowl. Made it to the playoffs a few times. We made it to NFC Championship game and lost. This quarterback's probably the best quarterback that ever drafted. I mean, he wasn't anything fancy when he came out of the draft. I think he was like a 74 overall with star dev. But that rookie season, he was able to put up an MVP year and win it. That was crazy. Jumped him all the way up to, I think, like an 89 overall when he was still a rookie, and jumped him up to superstar dev. Christian McCaffrey actually held up over the entire rebuild. Besides the first season, he missed half the season, but all the other 4 seasons, he played every single game. Alonzo was good. We had drafted him. Deebo Samuel's way down here. He's out for some reason. He's injured. Okay. The offensive line was actually pretty decent the whole time. Trimble was pretty good. Defensively, we got lucky with this linebacker right here. I think I drafted him in the 3rd round, I want to say. Let's look real quick. Oh, he was a 2nd round pick, my bad. But yeah, he had superstar dev his rookie year. Shaq Thompson was pretty good the whole time. He's down to a 78 overall with normal dev. Gardner Johnson was a great pickup in free agency. He's up to X Factor, 90 overall. Let's see, Chen was pretty good the whole time. He's 88 overall. Jackson, he left for a year, but he came back. Burns was a beast the whole time. He's 96 overall X Factor. Brown was a beast. He developed nicely. So overall, I think it was a pretty good rebuild. I wish we could have got that quarterback maybe a year or 2 earlier, or even started Matt Corral from the get-go. Probably would have been a lot different, but that's going to be it for the video. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, say something in the comments. I'll see y'all in the next one. Appreciate it. Peace.